the river, rolling down the river, dust and bones, rolling down the river, rolling down the river. Where is all the water gone? Where is all the water gone? Dust and bones, rolling down the river, rolling down the river, dust and bones, Where did all the water go? Where did all the water go?
Welcome everybody to my show, The Movie Cabin of Dr. Mike Face. And I am Dr. Mike Face. In this episode, I will be showing you my Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 / Chop Top collection. Bill Mosely starred as Chop Top, of course. Everybody knows that. I have to say, he's definitely one of the greats when it comes to the Bronze Age, I would consider, which, I kind of developed that. I got that idea from Cinemassacre. But I kind of stretched out to me. That era is a little more wider than I think he proclaims it is. I would consider it from the late mid 70s all the way up to pretty much 2000. The proto, the 80s slasher, and then in the 90s have titles like Child's Play and Candyman. I kind of think that they are part of the same age, but it metamorphosized 2 times after the proto, which I consider Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one at least, and movies of that nature, and then in Halloween also, and then in the 80s it kind of like the slasher genre kind of defined itself through titles like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. But so yeah, Bill Mosely, I met him. If you watched my Rock and Shock video, that was my last video I posted up about like 2.5 weeks ago, and I met him there, Bill Mosely, and he signed one of my items that I'm going to show you. And he was a really nice guy, and I've always liked him, and I've always loved the character Chop Top. Like ever since I seen the first time I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, I was just blown away by that character. That character has been my favorite character. And then around that time, finding out that they were making a spin-off called All American Massacre, which really never became anything. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see that, like the Chop Top spin-off. And then around that time, I also found out he was in a group with Buckethead, the guitar player who wears bucket on his head, of course, and a mask. That was inspired by Halloween 4. A little fun fact for you: I love Halloween 4, my favorite Halloween in the series. I guess it's a little bit of a tug and pull between the first one and the fourth one. I just love both of them. And yeah, he was in a band with Buckethead and a drummer named Pinchface called Cornbugs, and I also got one of those CDs. I picked it up recently, and back in the day, I had like a bootleg that my friend made for me. And don't forget to check out my friend that I just mentioned. His name is Dr. Gonzo Boogie. I'm gonna leave a little link at the bottom. He does movie updates, movie reviews, etc. So check his stuff out. And anyway, yep, so I got one of those CDs. So what I have here for you, I got 2 VHSs, a DVD, a Blu-ray, and a CD, and one more thing at the end. And back to what I was trying to say before, Bill Mosely is definitely in the top 10 of the Bronze Age horror icons or iconic actors. Like, I think he's definitely up there with Kane Hodder, from Friday the 13th Part 7, 8, and 9, and X. And I would put him up there with Robert Englund, from, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, Freddy Krueger and The Mangler. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Doug Bradley from Hellraiser. To me, he's in their league, for sure. Bill Mosely's to me, he's like the modern day Dwight Frye. Some of you might know, Dwight Frye was a character actor back in the 30s and 40s, and his most famous role was probably Renfield in Todd Browning's Dracula alongside Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Love that movie. I loved him as Fritz in the original Frankenstein by James Whale. Him and Colin Clive. Colin Clive played Dr. Frankenstein, and Fritz, played by Dwight Frye, was the assistant, and I love that character. That's probably my favorite character in the Frankenstein film, and it's my favorite character in the entire classic or Universal Monsters series. I love those, and I love Renfield. And he also played a similar character to Fritz in The Bride of Frankenstein named Carl, but he was a little more malicious. And there was actually a long backstory with a lot more footage, but the footage has been non-extinct. And then throughout the Frankenstein series, you see him here and there. You see him as a villager in a bunch of the sequels. I know one of the ones I know that he's in for sure is The Wolfman Meets Frankenstein, which is one of my favorite Universal monster movies all time. He's like a villager at the end, and it's one of the lines that I can always remember from the movies. It goes like this: "He said he blew up the dam." Like, love Dwight Fry. So anyway, to me, Bill Mosely is the modern day Dwight Fry. Just great character actors. If you're going to be a character actor, you should definitely pay attention to Dwight Fry, Bill Mosely, and another one, Donald Pleasance, which I think he's a little more than a character actor. To me, a character actor has a lot of elements of a method actor, but he just always gets stereotyped into playing certain characters, which they're great at. Like, I love seeing them. So let's just get started with my Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 / Chop Top collection. Up first, I'm going to start with this. I was going to save it to last, but I'm going to start off with this. This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, the VHS. I think this is one of the very first pressings of it. It's by a little company called Canon that you don't see anymore. Love the artwork. I love how it's a play on the Breakfast Club poster art. Love it. This is my favorite movie cover ever of all time. No doubt about it. Just love it. Love how like Chop Top's in the middle there. Super cool. And it's a little faded. I think this is actually the first actual tape that I actually saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. And it was an ex-rental from a little video store that was downtown named A1 Video, but it's no longer in existence. So here's the back. Really cool shots on the back. You got Leatherface, you got Dennis Hopper, and you got Chop Top knocking some head in. Mail! Fucking awesome. Love Chop Top. One of the most quotable characters in the series and in this movie, of course. Love him. Here's sides. Super cool tape. And this is the one that I had actually at Rock and Shock. Had Bill Mosely signed. There's his name, Bill Mosely, and I had it signed to me to a far out fan, just like in the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, which I also brought up in my Rock and Shock video. So one of my favorite lines in the movie, and it's just a bad way to get it signed because that's what Chop Top is asking Stretch, the radio show host of K-Okla, to have him sign. I think it was a record or something, and to a far out fan, I think that was just pretty badass. So here it is, my Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 Canon VHS signed by Bill Mosely. Thank you, Bill Mosely, once again. Up next is just a classic tape. This is definitely a later release. Super cool though. It's the artwork has changed a little bit, but it maintains the Breakfast Club parody artwork. Love it. This one's actually a really, really nice collection. I think I found this at a Goodwill or a Savers once. And so we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. After years of silence, the buzz is back. Love that headline. Here's the side. It's got Dennis Hopper on it. Here's the back. Back, it's the same pictures, but just in a different arrangement where Leatherface was up here, and Chop Top was down here. That was the biggest change, and plus a little bit of this dark color, this purple. I think it's really nice VHS. It's by Video Treasures, and I've tried both of these tapes, and they both work, and I plan on keeping these for as long as I live. I want to keep these mint. Love it. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, VHS by Video Treasures. And up next is the only DVD I have of it. And this is the first thing I've ever, first anything from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 that I've ever owned. So here's the MGM DVD with Dennis Hopper on the front. And here's the size. I like MGM DVDs. I always love how they used to like a piece of the poster on the sides here. It's nice when you have a bunch of MGM DVDs all next to each other. Couple pictures in the back. Got Grandma on the back. You got Leatherface. Not too many special features on this. Nothing really special. But like for the longest time, going back to the poster or the parody on the Breakfast Club, for the longest time there was no existing Well, there was never a DVD. I like back in the day of not owning the VHS and just owning the DVD. I always wanted a some type of format, DVD mostly, of the original artwork. I thought they were never gonna make it. I thought they were gonna keep up. Like, this artwork is cool, but you can't beat the Breakfast Club parody. For the longest time, I was just like waiting and hoping that they would eventually release a DVD or Blu-ray with the Breakfast Club artwork. Like, it's so cool. Why pay any more money to make something that is not as good? They're like, this is, I could safely say, is not as good as the Breakfast Club. In which they finally did. Factory came to the rescue and did it, and that's what I have here. This was a dream come true. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, the Blu-ray by Scream Factory. And first off, I love Scream Factory's own artwork. I think they do a really, really good job. I think they always pick really great characters from really, really great scenes and paint them, and they're just such great likeness. Like, everybody's there. I absolutely love it. And here's the side. It's got the original font in yellow. I prefer red, but I'll keep it. I think it's pretty awesome. And so here's the answer I was waiting for years. The Breakfast Club freaking poster art. And it's complete, untampered integrity. Fucking love it. I haven't watched this edition of it yet. It's got a bunch of special features, which I'm not going to go over. I want to keep this as mint as possible, but just look at that. Dream come fucking true. Thank you, Scream Factory. So that was that. Let me just put the slip back on. All nicey nice. Gotta keep this mint, you know. Oh, love that. And up next, I'm going to show you my Cornbugs CD. I bought this like a week after Rock and Shock. Like, my friend bought like 2 of his CDs, and Bill Mosely actually ended up giving another one, a third one, free. And I was just like, oh man, I just ran out of money at that time. I would have bought them straight from Bill Mosely. But I bought this off of eBay, and it was the seller was named Cornpicker, and it supposedly, I think, and I'm a total believer that it is Bill Mosely's private eBay account, because it just had strictly Bill Mosely stuff. And Bill Mosely actually went and signed it too. It's upside down right now, but there it is. I haven't given it a listen to yet, but I definitely heard some songs off of here. Like, I've always wanted to see. This is the greatest art compilation album, and it's got really, really cool songs on here. There's one I really, really like Cornbugs, of course. Sacramento, I've heard. I don't know. I can't wait to give this CD a whirl. He had another album compilation that he was selling off the site too, that he was also selling at Rock and Shock. I'm hoping to get that one too. I forget the name of it. It's there's like a gurney on the front, and it has all 3 members of Cornbugs on it: Buckethead, Chop Top, excuse me, and Pinchface. So, and I've always loved this artwork. I love how it's in a meat pack. Awesome. So that was that, my Cornbugs Skeleton Farm compilation album. And up next, this also came with the CD, just a little mini poster of Devil's Rejects, and Bill Mosely signed it as well. Thanks for your order, BM Bill Mosely, Chop Top, BBQ.com. Super cool. Thanks again, Bill Mosely, for signing the CD and the Devil's Rejects little poster card. So, up next, last but not least, is this really cool action figure that I bought right after Rock and Shock. Like, I just had to get. Sorry about the glare. Like, look at this. It's by NECA. This just recently came out, and I haven't seen this in stores. I see the Leatherface one that they made from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 that I hope to get one day too. But this, I've been waiting to get a Chop Top action figure the longest time. I know they had another one that's been out for like, I think, more than 10 years, and Bill Mosely actually had it. I forget the name of the company, but he had it on his little table at Rock and Shock. He signed it, and it was like going for $200, which isn't a bad price, but I just didn't have it. There's Chop Top on the back, and I don't wish to open this. I wish to keep it mint. I also really like the artwork too. Let's see if I can get close up. There's Chop Top. Sorry about the glare. Comes with the Sonny Bono wig, glasses, hammer, and a little razor that he eventually slices his own neck with. Love this character. Love this action figure. Super awesome. So glad that I have it. So that was it for this video. Don't forget to check out my friend Dr. Gonzo Boogie. Like I said before, I'm going to leave a link at the bottom. And I hope to make more videos. I'm going to hope to continue to make them to keep up with the channel a little bit. I've been slacking the past year or two. So I'm hoping to catch up because I got a lot of stuff I want to show you, and I have so many collections. So this is just a freaking scratch of the surface. It runs deeper. So thank you for watching, and you all have a nice day.
The wind picks up its swirling mass of dust. The bones get up and dance. Heels are on their heels. Dust and bones, dust and bones. Where did the water go? Where did the water go? Dust and bones, dust and bones. Rolling down the riverbed, rolling down the riverbed. Dust and bones, dust and bones, dust and bones, dust and bones, dust and bones. Where did my sister go? Where did my sister go? Dust and bones, dust and bones. Rolling down the riverbed, rolling down the riverbed. Dust and